you don't have to be the biggest to have the longest, at least not when it comes to walking streets. Stroeget, a shopping and walking street in Copenhagen, capital of Denmark, is among the longest walking streets in the world. And it's not only long, with traces of Asian history, top-rent boutiques, and friendly atmosphere, Stroeget attracts tourists from all over the world. Lifestyles takes you there.
Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark, is a port city. It has stayed close to its maritime roots since it began life as a small town for fishermen over 1,200 years ago. It became Denmark's richest and most important city in the 14th century, the status it has maintained ever since. And from its origins as a town closed behind city walls, it is today spread over an area of around 3,000 square kilometers. But even though Copenhagen is amongst Europe's smaller capitals, it is home to Stroeget, which is one of the continent's longest walking streets. Stroeget is the unofficial name of a 1,081-meter-long street linking the city hall to Kongens Nytorv, a large public square. The street is thronged with commuters, businesspersons, tourists, shoppers, hawkers, and sometimes even the homeless. You can never go hungry on Stroeget. This street is simply packed with eateries, cafes, bars, all kinds of cuisine you can imagine, and little kiosks selling ice creams. And this place is particularly special. The Shawarma Grill House on Stroeget is Copenhagen's oldest shawarma house. Hi, sir. Hi. I'd very much like to try one of your special shawarmas.
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
That was very quick.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now this thing is beautiful even to look at, and I'm sure it tastes even better than it looks. Well, that's what I was talking about. You see, the grilled meat, salads, and the sauces. I gotta tell you, you have to try it. This thing is absolutely delicious. I'm going to take one of these three-wheeled bicycle rickshaws to get my way down the Stroeget. Hello, friend.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Now, I would very much like to try out your cycle rickshaw, and you can drive me down Stroeget up to Amato, maybe.
You're going to Amato?
Yeah, I would like to go there.
All right, that's Sister Crows.
That sounds good. Okay.
Sit down.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. The name Stroeget replaced the older accepted name of Ruten, or the Route, as far back as 1880. But the street officially became Copenhagen's first pedestrian street, or gågade in Danish, in 1962. Before that, trolleys and autobuses connected the City Hall square with Kongens Nytorv and all the areas in between. Today it is largely closed off to cars and motorized transport. So, brother, what's your name?
My name is Daniel.
And how long you been doing this job as a cycle rickshaw driver?
I've been doing this job for the past 2 months.
Okay, and do you like the job?
Yes, of course, I like this job.
Do you get a lot of customers, and what are they like?
Yeah, the customers, actually, this job depends upon the weather. Sometimes the weather is good, sometimes bad. But in general, the Danish people are very friendly.
That sounds pretty good. I hope you get a lot of customers, huh?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Amato, as this square is called, is thought to be the oldest part of Stroeget. In fact, in the past, traffic flowed in from the city's 4 medieval gates and often congregated here. And when horse-drawn cabs were introduced to the city in 1828, this is where they found their first parking place, much as the three-wheeled cycle rickshaws do today. Now, for centuries, Amato has been a gathering place for Copenhageners. And it's no different today. This place is crowded with shoppers and cafe-goers who often take a little break here by the Storke Spring of Vandet. The Stork Fountain, or Storke Spring Vandet, as it is known in Danish, was unveiled in 1894 and was funded by the ponderously named Association for the Beautification of the Capital. And it is still a popular spot for newly graduated high school students and street entertainers like musicians and jugglers. Royal Copenhagen is one of Denmark's best-known consumer brands. Founded by royal decree in 1775, the company has been producing fine porcelain for the past 215 years. Yet the designs and colors on its dinner services, figurines and decorative Easter eggs appear as fresh as if they were made yesterday. The main product line in the Royal Copenhagen catalogue is the dinner service in white porcelain, hand-painted in fine patterns with blue cobalt paint. And you can always trace the individual porcelain item back to the artist who painted it by reading their initials, which are signed on the back. But Royal Copenhagen also makes many other porcelain goods, like these commemorative plates, which for more than 100 years have marked the Christmas season with different motifs. There are also small figurines to decorate bookshelves or windowsills. And then there is the Flora Danica line of bowls, cups, fruit baskets and dinner services, which bear motifs from Danish flora. Danish design is a concept associated with clean lines, minimalist beauty and functionality, all rolled into one. It is best described as a fusion of art, craft, innovation and practicality. And few brands bring out these traits as clearly as Georg Jensen. Founded by Georg Jensen, a silversmith and sculptor, in 1904, the company ranks among Scandinavia's leading lifestyle and luxury brands. Its watches, jewelry, cutlery and silver hollowware, like coffee pots and sugar bowls, are synonymous with Danish design.
I think Georg Jensen has over 100 years of heritage history to its name. When we look into our products and design a product, the customer knows that we think of the design and the craftsmanship. So we are a real Scandinavian luxury brand.
Signature Danish brands, as well as other upmarket labels from across Scandinavia and Europe, can be found at the department store Illums Bolighus. One of Northern Europe's leading stores for home furnishings, it offers everything from designer furniture and lighting to kitchen and bath accessories and children's toys. You can spend hours or days browsing through the shops on Stroeget, but a small detour to the adjacent Købmagergade, or Merchant Street, reveals another slice of the city's past. In Denmark, early scientific efforts to understand the heavens were made here at Rundetårn, or the Round Tower. The tower is over 40 meters high and houses Europe's oldest functioning observatory, and it has gazed towards the heavens since the year 1642. The observatory was the brainchild of King Christian IV, a famous 17th century Danish monarch, and he's the man who stands behind some of Denmark's best-known architectural wonders. King Christian wanted the Round Tower to be a famous observatory. He wanted it to search for stars, planets and comets, but he also had commercial interests at heart. Now, he believed the data gathered by this observatory would help Danish seafarers navigate the world's oceans and thus help them establish trading posts in faraway countries. And that would make Denmark rich. And almost at the top is a little romantic spot where couples can take a moment before they reach the viewing platform and share a quiet romantic kiss. Visitors like me come here to get a bird's eye view of Copenhagen. After winding its way past churches, fountains, squares, shops and restaurants, Stroeget emerges onto the wide open Kongens Nytorv, or the King's New Square. Kongens Nytorv is where the street stops. Here you find some more of the spots that make Copenhagen a popular destination for tourists from all over the world. These include Hvid's Vinstue, a 300-year-old local pub, the trendy shopping arcade called Magasin du Nord, and one of the world's oldest hotels, the fabled d'Angleterre. It is currently under renovation and will reopen in 2012. But the most prominent feature on Kongens Nytorv is the Royal Theatre. For over 250 years, the Royal Theatre has played a central role in the artistic life of Denmark. Historically, it has brought together plays, ballets, orchestral works, as well as opera under one roof. And its repertoire is a blend of traditional and modern and innovative works. Now, many musicians, actors, singers, dancers, and playwrights have aspired to perform here, but not all of them have succeeded. One notable failure who went on to become a literary superstar is the Danish author, poet, and playwright Hans Christian Andersen. Today, he is known all over the world as the author of fairy tales such as The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, and The Emperor's New Clothes. At the age of just 14, H.C. Andersen tried to find work as a singer, dancer, and actor at the Royal Theatre. But the theatre authorities felt he didn't have the right skills, and instead supported him in getting a good school education. Hans Christian Andersen spent several periods of his life, including his final years, here in this harbourside quarter called Nyhavn, which lies opposite Stroeget and just off Kongens Nytorv. In fact, one of the houses he lived in, Nyhavn number 67, is that white building that lies just across the street. Today, Nyhavn is one of Denmark's most exclusive areas. Its 17th century houses, trendy cafes, gourmet restaurants and seaside location make it a favorite spot for tourists and residents alike. Its maritime heritage is visible in the many traditional wooden ships that are moored along the quays. Some of these vessels date back to the 1890s. So, after a stroll down Stroeget, Nyhavn is a good place to stop. Thank you. It's a good place to stop, relax, have a bite to eat, maybe get yourself a cool beer, sit down, soak up the historical surroundings, and just watch the world go by. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Cheers.